Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Learn, Plan, Profit. Hope that you guys are all having a good start to the morning. I'm going to start sharing my screen just so everyone can kind of see what is going on. Let me make this just a little bit smaller, and here we go. All right. Sorry for the delay. So I'm about 8 minutes late. I do apologize. We're setting up the entire live stream. I'm going to give it a couple of seconds so everyone can kind of start tuning on in. But when you guys can, there he is. So when you guys can hear me clearly, let me go ahead and see it in the chat. So I know it's a little bit delayed, but for those that are tuning in for the first time, my name is Ricky, right? This is our free live trading. We do this once a month, and it's pretty much just to give people a taste of what the Learn, Plan, Profit team gets to experience every single day. One of the only requests that I do want to remind you is to refresh your page right now. The reason I'm going to ask you to refresh your page is I want to make sure that like the title, the description, and all that's for the next couple of minutes is all good. So let me know when you guys finish refreshing your page in the little comment section. Just letting me know. So one of the things that I saw a lot of people asking is how much is Ricky up or down, right? Especially after yesterday's trading. So all right, we have everyone already doing it, so perfect. All right, cool. I really do appreciate it. But just so you guys can see, this is my overall P&L, meaning my profit or loss. There's no working orders, there's no filled orders, there's no canceled orders, there's no rolling orders or rolling strategies. Starting out fresh, right? Just like we do every single morning. And the way that I kind of think of it, and the way that I try to empower our Learn, Plan, Profit members is reminding our team that every single day as day traders, right, that we are put up to the plate with our ability to identify patterns, direction, and manage our risk with waiting for overall confirmation. So one of the things that I'm going to be looking out for, and if you guys aren't familiar with how things kind of go during these live trading sessions, is it's not to copy my trades by any means. It's nothing like that. So if you think that like by joining the Learn, Plan, Profit team that you're going to be able to copy my trades, at the very end of the day, if that's your goal, I just want to remind you that I'd rather not even have you as a part of the team. And the reason why is, again, we're here to work for you to become self-sufficient, not to be told what to do, right? So there's nothing wrong with getting an idea from someone and trying to see why they're buying or why they're selling, and trying to understand that thought process. That's the whole point of these live trading sessions. But at the end of the day, if you're solely going to try to mimic and copy other people, that does not sustain self-sufficient success in any market. And I think that we can all agree on that, right? So one of the things that I'm going to be looking out for within the next 30 to 45 minutes is trying to see if I can identify a clear direction, see if I can identify a clear opportunity in where I can get in and get out for a profit, right? Especially after yesterday's red day, I lost 2.5%. I traded with $100,000. So at the very end of it, if you guys are tuning in right now and if you guys are excited, so I want to see how many people we have tuning on in. So we got Trader JJ, we got what is it? Aziz, Andrew, Jeremy, Cole, Chi. So I'm from, Arizona. Well, I'm not from Arizona. I'm from California. So where is it that everyone's tuning in from? So we got Brian. Brian, where are you from? Jonathan. There we go. Chris, beautiful ninja. We got Puerto Rico. All right, Australia, Irvine. I like that. San Francisco, Texas, South Africa, Portland, Spain, Philly, Montreal, Australia. So people not only just within the United States, but all over the world. New Jersey, there we go. Here in Gilbert, Jufit, what's going on, my guy? Colorado, Cali, right? North Carolina, Florida. There we go. San Francisco, Tennessee, Africa, Vietnam, your way. I like it. Gilbert, we have a couple of people from Gilbert. I like it. Wow. South Carolina, Israel, Canada, Toronto, Argentina, Boston. Woo! Oregon, Mexico, Toronto. All right, I like it. So we have people all over the world, right? One of the things that, again, we are all over the world, right? We are put to the test every single day with our ability to identify patterns, with our ability to, wait for confirmation, and with our ability to manage our risk. So it looks like right now, right? So for the next couple of minutes, feel free to kind of like get a taste of what it's like for me to, for my personal opinion, right, to see something that I view as a good deal, right? And we'll kind of go from there. So /CL as of right now, one of the things that we've been noticing for the overall market, right, it's been pretty choppy, at least in my experience. Right now it looks like overall we have a descending pattern here, right, for /CL. So as long as this doesn't continue to uptrend, so this is overall, right, during pre-market hours, this thing was making lower lows and lower highs. So how much is DWT up? 1.28%. We got DGAS, that thing's barely up as well, showing signs of an uptrend pattern, but just recently sold off. So right now we got crude oil pushing up. We got /NG most likely pushing up. Wow. Holy smokes. Look at this. /NG, right? /NG with a huge push up. So the way that I kind of like to look at things is for there to be an opportunity to present itself, right? And this is different for every single person. We all see value in different ways. And one of the questions that I have for you is like, what does an ideal setup look like for you? If you can't identify or draw that in your mind, then it probably means that you need to dedicate a little bit more time to, put yourself in the presence of just like, patterns and charts. It doesn't mean that you have to trade. It doesn't mean that you have to lose money. It doesn't mean that you have to trade right now. It just means that you have to like immerse yourself maybe a little bit more in this market to become a little bit more familiar with what it is that it has to offer and what an ideal setup looks like for you. So right now, natural gas /NG is still showing signs of an uptrend. It looks overbought and overextended. So look at that MACD, look at that RSI. So one of the things that I kind of like to look for is, so this one's a little crazy right now. It's definitely pushing up. But the more that it pushes up, the more that it's bound to pull back, kind of like we saw here, right? So it pushed up quite a bit, and then it pulled back quite a bit, right? So the more that natural gas pulls back, the more that degas has the potential to push up. So that's something that I want you guys to know. There's a correlation there. So when natural gas goes up, degas goes down, and vice versa. Same thing with /CL. Right now we're almost seeing signs of a little bit of a pullback, right? So as long as this thing continues to sell off, then DWT, which is the inverse ETF, will then push up and vice versa. So UWT goes according to /CL and /NG goes, or UGAS goes according to /NG. So one of the things that I definitely do not want to do, and it's one of the mistakes that I made yesterday, is trading against the overall pattern. So trying to predict how many of you guys, and this is just a question, but and there it goes. You guys can see how quick natural gas is shooting up. How many of you, just a show of hands, right, from experience, have sometimes tried to predict the bottom of something? So trying to go into like maybe UGAS right here because it looks oversold, right? But then it continues to sell off, and then you just continue to bag hold, right? You put yourself in a bad position because you think that you've identified a bottom when there's no true confirmation. I've done that multiple times. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. Making mistakes in the stock market are 100% like inevitable, right? Taking a loss in the market is 100% inevitable. That wouldn't be something that like I would be afraid of. You should be empowered to make mistakes because it means that you're trying something new, right? So maybe you're less familiar with that specific market. Maybe less familiar with what it is that's going on at that specific moment. It just means that there's some form of controlled, or how is it that I want to put it? There's nothing wrong with putting yourself in a position where there's some form of risk, but as long as there's some form of risk management that you understand at least kind of what's going on, right? I'm going to drink some water real quick. All right, here we go. So overall, /NG is definitely looking way on the overbought side, right? So with that, look at the MACD, look at that RSI, and this is definitely something that we have to take into consideration that, one of two things. Is natural gas going to continue to uptrend and just completely shoot up, right? Looking at previous patterns, or is this something that is so overbought that's bound to pull back? So at the end of the day, we don't 100% know, but all we have to wait for, what's one thing, right? What's one thing that when you think that there's an opportunity that's presenting itself, right, that we can wait for to have a better understanding of what's going on. So what's one thing for a beginner? If a beginner is going up to you and saying like, hey, look at natural gas, look at D-gas, look how much margin it has to potentially recover. What's one of the things that you would encourage a beginner to do to guide them in the right direction? What should they wait for? What should they wait for? It starts with a C and ends with an information, right? Right? So it's just simply making sure that you set yourself up for success. There we go. Confirmation. All right, give me one quick second. I'm going to grab one water bottle real quick, okay? Had to grab some Oreos. Had to draw some a Gatorade. There we go. There we go. All right, all right. All right, so one of the things that Breakfast of Champs, right? One of the things that I want to make sure that you guys understand is that we have overall confirmation to no milk, no. Making sure that the overall direction is in your favor, right? Right now, the MACD is overall showing signs of a potential pullback. The RSI is definitely showing signs of it being a little bit more on the overextended side. I remember the day when I could eat whatever I want. But yeah, so here we go. /CL. Also looking a little bit more on the overbought side, but we have no confirmation. So again, the reason that I'm trying to be a little bit more selective right now is because what have we experienced the past couple of days? In my experience, the past couple of days, the market's been very choppy. It hasn't been super consistent, so I want to make sure that I don't jump in too aggressively. So I'm definitely going to go in, right? Just because I definitely do see value in DGAS and the potential that it has for it to push up. /NG just dropped below 229. That means that DGAS is then pushing up. So I'll go in with 100 shares. There's nothing wrong with that. And I can go in, let's see. Wow, the spread is pretty big. So between the bid and the ask, you guys can see the spread, and it's going to be a little bit more than I definitely want to pay. So here we go. So here he goes. So again, how does this look on /NG? Again, it's going according to plan, meaning that it's pulling back, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It just means that then we have to do a better job getting filled. So all right, let's see. We still haven't been filled 100%, right? So at 14549 and then 14578. So how do you get those TLS alerts to not draw a line across the entire graph? So all you have to do here is go to that little setting option and then click show arrow instead of show alerts. And it's that simple. So yeah, filled with 190 shares instead of 200. So again, it's not a big deal. We're up about $62 so far, so not very much. But I'll just close this out here. There it goes. And then as long as we continue to get more confirmation, I can go in a little bit more aggressively. So one of the things that I like to do is how many times, how does this make sense, right? This is not something that you 100% have to do. It just makes sense to me as a day trader that, there's never 100% certainty about like what's going to happen, right? So one of the things that I'm trading right now is natural gas, and natural gas I see to be overbought, overextended, and I think that it's due for a pullback. So the more that this thing sells off, the more that DGAS then pushes up, and I see value in that. So you guys can go a little bit closer and then determine like, okay, it has potential margin for profit. I like to add more to my position size, and again, this is just me, as something is then showing signs of an uptrend. So that makes sense to me. It makes sense that, as something is increasing in price, then I simply want to add more to my overall position. It looks like we still maybe need a little bit more time, right? So then now I'm going to play the defense, and I'm going to make sure that it just continues to go according to plan. So /NG, I just want to make sure that the MACD continues to sell off, that the overall pattern continues to sell off, that it doesn't find a support here, and that we just continue to make lower lows and lower highs. As long as natural gas continues to sell off, then again, that's all I want. As long as natural gas indicates more signs of a sell-off, then I'm all for that. If it continues to consolidate here and then begins to push up, I'm going to have to manage my risk and sell my position, right? Because I don't want to if natural gas then begins to push up, then that means that DGAS will then begin to push down. So I just made 1.6 on Tesla paper trading. Okay, so how's the overall market performing? /NQ. Okay, so it looks like the overall market's been selling off, right? So looking at Tesla, that's pretty aggressive to be making on Tesla. Okay, so I had quite a bit of a pullback, and you guys can see that there. But /NQ, again, we're not showing signs of a huge sell-off by any means right now. So we'll set our alerts, and there it goes. There it goes, selling off. That's good. That's a good sign. So that means that then DGAS should then be showing signs of an uptrend, right? And yeah, I'm not up very much. Oh. Here we go. So one of the things that I'm paying attention to is, again, this push, right? This push, as if this thing continues to push up, then I'm going to have to watch my position on ticker symbol DGAS. So I just want to be careful with this. If it ends up going south for me, right, I want to minimize my loss. Loss is inevitable. There's nothing like, I know it could be a scary thing, and how many people can I get kind of like a show of hands or a show of comments? I know like you guys might not want to engage too much with the overall live stream, but can I get a show of hands of like how many people are pretty new to trading, to the idea of trading as well? So you can be like, yeah, I'm new to it. I'm like, first generation trader. If no one's ever traded in your family, there it goes. Natural gas selling off, right? Boom. So we're up $500 so far, right? And I'm going to just start, because we're starting the day here, right? Okay, so we have a lot of people. We have a lot of people that are first generation. I like that. And I think that we can all agree with something new, right? With a new market, nothing wrong with testing things, right? And at least with that understanding, you can, get a better feel of this market, how things work, and to see kind of how you like it, right? There it goes, still shooting up. Okay, we're gonna have to potentially lock in profits around this general area. See what we have going on. Where are we at? So Mark is at 9.1, we're at 625. Yeah, I'm gonna sell. Before I just continue to hold, and I'll explain to you guys why I sell. Let me just lock in my position. Let me see if I can lock it in. So we're at 146.25, 146.70. So we're kind of consolidating between the EMA line and that middle VWAP, right? You guys can all kind of see that there. Let's see, /NG. I just made 2 points on DS. Thanks, Tricky. Sweet. Just gonna have to close this out. Let's see. All right. No, I don't trade Forex. Just because I don't trade Forex doesn't mean that you can't or you shouldn't. I'm not here to tell you what you should or should not do, right? At the end of the day, I think you guys all know that I have a focus doing certain things, and just because I do certain things, in no way does that mean that that's like the right thing, right? I day trade in the stock market. I buy and resell cars. I invest in the real estate market. I pretty much, I share everything it is that I do on YouTube. I think that you guys are all pretty much aware of that, right? If you're not, then I would encourage you to check out my YouTube channel. Here it goes. Sweet. MACD looking like it's reversing 100%. That's one of the things that I'm paying a lot of attention to right now. There it goes. So we're up 925, right? You guys can see that right here. All right, let's see. Huge push up. So one of the things that I'm waiting for is for natural gas to indicate signs of a potential sell-off. It doesn't look like we're getting that right now. What the hell is this? Here it goes. So I ended up closing that position right there, and one of the reasons why that was not a amazing trade by any means, and I still left a lot of money on the table, and the reason why is because natural gas as of right now is showing signs of potential reversal, right? So just like you guys could see right here, it's showing signs with the MACD and with the RSI of this thing potentially making higher highs, and the more that this thing pushes up, the more that then the gas will then sell off, and there it goes. So it's beginning to push up, begin to make higher highs, and the overall direction is then now in favor of natural gas. So at the end of the day, my wants and my desires of wanting to make money on degas and wanting to hit $1,000 or 1% gain, of course, it's definitely there, and I still want to do it, but I need to make sure that I understand that, again, first of all, the market literally just started. Natural gas is now beginning to show signs of a reversal, and I have to kind of go with the flow. I think it's best to kind of like trade with the pattern instead of try to trade against it and hope that it goes in my favor. At the end of the day, like, I'm irrelevant to the market, just like kind of everyone else, right? I think it makes more sense to put yourself in a position where you are more bound to be successful. So I didn't make very much on that trade. So I was up nearly $1,000. I should have locked in profits. I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt. I still think that I could really make it happen. But I made $236. So that was not a crazy trade by any means. I can always jump back in. But as of right now, one of the things that we're seeing with, there it goes. Let's see, with /NG, right? Overall, this potential reversal. So ticker UWT. So let's check out /CL. No, I don't see a clear direction or a clear pattern here. The MACD also looks like it's trying to build this potential reversal, right? So I could see why UWT can, if it does begin to make higher highs, why that would be in favor. But as of right now, one thing that I want to take into consideration is that if natural gas continues to push up, the more margin it builds for degas, right? The more that then degas sells off, and the more margin of profit that I can make. So there it goes. All right. Today's lesson: when natural gas sells off, gas goes up. Okay. I mean, I personally trade these pretty often, right? Just because I trade them doesn't mean that you have to. But I just see there to be a lot of margin for this thing to potentially continue to sell off. So I'm just going to set my alerts here. And I'm going to try to be just a little bit more patient, right? There it goes. /CL is beginning to now indicate signs of a potential reversal. That then is in favor of UWT, right? UWT then has a potential for this thing to continue to push up, kind of like UGAS. The UGAS as of right now is showing signs of an uptrend. So, the more that natural gas then pushes up, the more that then, UGAS pushes up. So there's nothing wrong with that. I just want this thing to become a little bit more overbought and overextended. So there it goes. MACD is in its favor, RSI is in its favor. So /CL can be reversing 100%. So I think that's a really cool thing about it. So okay. And again, we're still just trying to get a feel of the market, right? Getting a feel of how things are going. If things begin to change overall direction, then we can jump right back in. But you just don't want to put yourself in this pickle where it doesn't make sense. I think taking action when it matters is important in comparison to being hopeful. If I was still in my position, I would barely be up, right? And it's not even that. It's not even about being up or down, but being in a sticky situation where you don't feel comfortable with the trade because everything is going against you. The MACD is against you, the overall pattern's against you, right? The RSI is against you. All these different indicators are against you. And I think it just makes it more scary, less enjoyable, and you become less comfortable. So /NG, still showing signs of an uptrend. Here it goes, right? These live trades are really nice. So why don't you see value in UGAS? Is it because it's too late? I'm just really focused right now on DGAS, and I just don't know how much this is going to push up before it pulls back. So because of that, I was less focused on, I don't have to take every side of the trade, right? I saw natural gas pushing up. That's cool. It made sense on why UGAS would push up. At the end of the day, it doesn't mean that I have to jump in. And right now, this thing can continue to push up. I just don't know how much more it's going to continue to push up. So I want to wait a little bit more for confirmation. All right, here we go. There it goes, /CL dropping. And there should be some form of correlation, right? So, okay, there it goes. It pulled back. And again, that's a quick change of direction. So natural gas, are we showing signs of a resistance, or are we going to continue to make higher highs? So DWT, very attractive, Ricky. It makes sense on why it's pushing up. I wouldn't say it's very attractive. It's still below the overall middle VWAP. It's not really showing signs yet of higher highs. And until then, that's kind of what I would wait out for. So having a clear understanding of its overall direction. There it goes. So although the MACD didn't fully, reverse, right? You guys can see that the MACD barely went into the green. It's already beginning to show signs of a potential sell-off. So if anything, okay. All right, so natural gas stalling at upper, okay, yeah. So I just want to get confirmation of natural gas selling off again, right? There's nothing wrong with that, with trying to feel comfortable with your trade. So /NG right around that EMA line. I just want confirmation of this thing selling off a little bit more. And the more that this thing sells off, the more comfortable I would feel. I don't want this thing to begin to push up. So there it goes. All right, so we're right back at that EMA line for natural gas. Looks like it might be trying to bounce. Let's see. So just so you guys could kind of see what's going on. There it goes, pulling back down again. So again, if we make lower lows, and there it goes, consolidating once again. So I personally want to see, right, natural gas sell off. So /CL going down. Okay, huge sell-off on /CL. That's in favor of DWT, and this is the confirmation that we were kind of looking for, right? Higher highs, indicating signs of an uptrend, all that good stuff. There goes /NG, beginning to indicate signs of a potential pullback. There it goes, selling off a little bit. That's in favor of, degas. So the more that natural gas sells off, the more that then degas pushes up. So I'm just gonna have to try to have my order a little bit more ready on this. There it goes. There it goes, a little bit more of a push. So we're up about $500. The spread, as you guys can see, from 14589 and 14630 is definitely pretty wide. There it goes. Sweet. All right, so we're at 700. There it goes. So we should see a nice push up. There it goes. Can we make lower lows on /NG? I think we can, but it honestly doesn't matter what I think. So OSTK marked below. Okay. There it goes. There it goes. Got filled at 147.30. It made sense to me. Yeah, and there it goes. It's still pushing up, still showing signs of an uptrend, just so you guys could see. So it's at 147.57. So altogether, I made $1,268 on that trade altogether, right? We're still pushing up. Natural gas is still selling off. So DWT is now pushing up. So again, the more that natural gas sells off, the more that then DWT or DGAS will then push up. So definitely went according to plan. Now we broke below the middle VWAP, and now it actually makes sense on why this thing can aggressively sell off. At the end of the day, there's always this idea of being able to make more money. I just like to keep the mentality of, keeping in mind that not everything, I would rather think about like what can go wrong rather than like what can only go right. Okay, it makes sense on why it can sell off, but looking at the MACD and looking at the RSI, it also can make sense on why we can begin to pick up. So overall, it makes sense on both sides, why this thing can continue to sell off. And trust me, I know that, I think that, but at the end of the day, what are we here to do? We're here to work towards being that 5%, that 5% of people that actually make money in the stock market. Not once, not twice, but consistently. So our actions have to speak louder than our hopes and our desires. And that's all I really want to leave you guys with. This thing can 100% continue to sell off, and it looks like it's actually going to, which is actually really nice, because then it means that for all those that are still in DGAS can 100% then continue to make more money. I don't know why my little thing got messed up. So there it goes. So $1,262. I've only traded one thing today, and that's DGAS. So you guys can see, you guys saw all my buys, all my sells, all that fun stuff. So we're now at 147.50 and 147.99. There goes the pullback. At the end of the day, it's not even about like, trust me, like how many of you guys. So for those that have traded before, there's this thing called Fomo. How many people just get put in a position where you maybe lock in profits a little bit too soon, and then you experience FOMO, the fear of missing out? And how many times because of FOMO, you put yourself in a bad position, meaning that like you think that, okay, well, I sold a little bit too early, I'm going to go back in again, and then all of a sudden it begins to go the opposite direction. I've experienced that so many times that at the end of the day, I'd rather play it safe. Yes, I could have made more money. Yes, I could. There's always this potential, especially in these lucrative markets. There's always this potential, and ask anyone. I'm just sharing my opinion, and that's at the end of the day all it is. I just know that there's always this potential of things either continuing to be able to make me potentially more money, but at the end of the day, like I don't want to give back the money that I made already, right? And with that, I just think it makes more sense to try to consistently lock in profits, minimize overall loss, and just make sure that our actions speak louder than our hopes and our desires. You guys pretty much saw it. So DWT, Ricky, let's see, / at the end of the day, wow. Where is it? That would have been a nice one, right? Imagine catching this in a live stream. Wow. 6%. That would have been a nice little $6,000, almost $7,000 trade. Huge push up. So it looks like it's still selling off. Crude oil is selling off, meaning that DWT then pushed up. So one of the things that, at the end of the day, if you don't feel comfortable, so Trump rolled back on methane regulations, split energy industry. Yeah, at the end of the day, if you don't want to put yourself in a bad position, don't even like, it doesn't matter what everyone else, like, even if I made money on DGAS, this is a perfect example. Everyone right now is talking about DWT because of how much it pushed up, and it has a potential to either pull back or push up and all that fun stuff. At the end of the day, nothing has to happen. At the end of the day, if you don't feel comfortable taking a trade, then guess what? You simply should not take it. That simple. Your actions have to speak louder than your hopes and your desires. There's a reason such few people make money in this market. And it's because in my opinion, it's the very simple things that people overlook. Locking in profits, not being greedy, being able to minimize your overall loss even when you think things are going to recover, right? Just having those specific things in mind. One of the things that I wanted to remind you is I think we've been live for at least 30 minutes, right? We've been live for about 45 minutes almost. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, right? This is pretty much something that we get to do every single day. Is it always this smooth? Is it always this glorious, right? There's sometimes and many times within the live trading sessions with the Learn, Plan, Profit team that I don't take a trade, that I don't take a position. And why? Why would I not take a trade during maybe one of these live trading sessions? I'm asking you, right? For those that are tuning in, and for those that have tuned in that are already part of the Learn, Plan, Profit group, why maybe would I not want to take a position during maybe one of the live trading sessions, right? An opportunity does not present itself, just like Jonathan said, right? It's not about, hey, the market just opened, it's time to trade. Hey, okay, I'm trading with the Learn, Plan, Profit group, it's time to trade. I think there's one takeaway that I want you to have from this, regardless if you choose to be part of our team or not, there's one takeaway. I want you to be empowered to be a deal hunter, to allow an opportunity to present itself so you take advantage of it, to actually allow it, give it time, be patient, be disciplined, and instead of always chasing the trade or chasing the opportunity, that you set yourself up for success. That simple. Not just when it comes down to trading, but when it comes down to any market, right? Real estate, investing in cars, investing in business, regardless of what it is, right? I think that we can all agree that it's such a beautiful thing when you allow something to present itself, that you set yourself up for success and you simply just allow it to present itself. I think that is something that if there's one takeaway out of this video, that you allow something to present itself, because I think that could be a concept that can be viewed as universal in every market. And that might just be me, right? That might just be my opinion. But at the end of the day, I think that concept is universal in every market that at least I partake in. So right now, /CL is beginning to push up. DWT is beginning to pull back. So are you done for the day, Ricky? I wouldn't say that I'm done for the day, but I'm at, my daily goal is 1.5%. I'm up $1,262 with literally one day trade, right? Or 2 day trades, because I traded it twice. So I'm not going to try to recover from yesterday, right? Or recover for the overall week. I don't want a revenge trade, but I want to, again, allow an opportunity to present itself. So if I then see, DWT aggressively sell off and I see there to be a clear direction, a clear opportunity, and an attractive margin of profit, then hey, guess what? I might consider taking it. At the end of the day, you should be viewed as an investor where people have to come up to you and offer you, hey, look at this amazing opportunity. Do you want to invest in it? Do you want to trade it? Yes or no? And there's a set list of criteria that every single trade has to meet. I think that makes sense, right? It's not just about taking the trade based off of what is thrown at you just because because you can, but it's because it makes sense. Let there be a reason behind every action that you take. You'll either make a profit or learn from it. Because if you begin to trade, last thing that I want to leave you with, right, before we close this out, one of the last things that I want to leave you with, so /NG is selling off. Okay, so that means that then DGAS is then pushing right back up again. So there goes 14755, 147. This thing's aggressively selling off. Wow, that's pretty crazy. So we're back at 14759, 14797. So I'm going to set my alert here, and then we'll just follow up with it. But one of the last things that I want to leave you guys with is, again, with the simple reminder that, and I had a brain fight. You see, you distracted me. You distracted me from, totally kidding. That was my fault for not being as focused as I should have been. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this live trading session and kind of got a taste, could get a taste of kind of like what the Learn, Plan, Profit group gets to experience every single day, right? Monday through Friday, that's when the market's opened. It's not just about this glorious, always making a profit. There's days, and just like you saw yesterday and the day before, first 2 days of the week, amazing weeks. Strong, green, great, right? Feels good. Following days, Wednesday and Thursday, the last 2 days, I didn't perform the best. And that's just part of trading. That's just how it is. So if you guys kind of right, of what you experienced today, I have one simple little request. And man, thank you for all your knowledge, bro. I appreciate it. I want to thank you guys, first of all, for your time. If you guys, and this is only if you believe that I earned it. And then I'm a true believer in this, right? If you guys really enjoyed this live trading session and being able to kind of see where I buy, where I sell, for me to explain my thought process, and you guys would like me to continue to offer these, right? I would really appreciate if I earned your thumbs up, only if I earned it, right? One of the last things that I want to request is if you haven't already, feel free to refresh your page, and when you're ready and if you're ready, we have the $75 off coupon for the first 20 people that want to join our Learn Plan Profit team. So if you kind of like what you experienced today, if you think that you're ready to fully dive in and join our team, I just simply want to remind you that if you are interested in learning how to trade, and interested in working with me on a closer basis, then again, I offer the only group that I work with on a closer basis is the Learn Plan Profit team. I'm the only person that trades live every single day, Monday through Friday, again, for 30 minutes to about an hour, just like this every single day. And if you would like to be a part of it, then again, joining the Learn Plan Profit team is an option. If you kind of just want to sit back, relax, and maybe just watch, then there's nothing wrong with that, right? We have a bunch of videos on YouTube, but again, if you think that you want more assistance and being able to benefit from these live trading sessions and you liked what you saw today, then again, you're gonna get lifetime access to the A to Z video lesson library, the course, right? That's beginner friendly. Also, you'll get access to these live trading sessions and the Learn Plan Profit Discord chat. So it looks like now DGAS is beginning to show signs of an uptrend. /CL is still not fully reversing. So do you guys see that $75? So when is the next live session? The next live session is on Monday. So I trade live Monday through Friday, right, with the Learn Plan Profit team. When is the next free one? At the end of next month. So at the end of next September, that's when I'll do it. So no coupon. Make sure that you refresh your page. You need to refresh your page, and it should be popping up. If it doesn't, so it's for the first 20 people. It's a $75 off coupon. But it should be popping up. If not, no trading on Monday. Yeah, market's close. During like non-holidays, right? So Tuesday, yeah, so Tuesday. But yeah, it just means that it gives you extra time to catch up on the course, right? To become a little bit more familiar with the course material, become a little bit more well-versed with what the stock market has to offer. And then, yeah, so why don't you trade for people, like manage an investment pool? I just don't. It's not one of my interests, right? One of the things that we are working on, and I've talked about it multiple times, this is pretty much what I'm going to leave you guys with, is, I wanted to offer things that weren't readily available when I first got started. When I first began to learn how to trade, there's none of this available, right? No one traded live. No one offered not just this specific type of course that I find to be effective and efficient for beginners, but on top of that, to show people in real time someone being tested every single day. And that's exactly what these live trading sessions are. I am being tested every single day with my ability to identify patterns, with my ability to wait for confirmation, and with my ability to manage my risk every single day. And I'm put to the test every single day. And I really do enjoy it. But one of the things that we are now working on is these physical locations. So if you're in the Arizona area and you're part of the Learn Plan Profit team, so either if you're a current member or you enroll today or in the future, you're going to get access to these TechBud Solutions, this TechBud Solution headquarter, which is pretty much going to be a hub, right, where you're going to be able to come in, dock up your computer, and trade with other people in the area. So we're going to have a bunch of monitors, and it's just going to be this physical location to empower you to, have kind of this there's offices for WeWork and stuff like that, or there's libraries for people that are students, right? When it comes down to just being in college, I wanted to offer something that I thought would be pretty cool, only for the Learn Plan Profit team, right? And it's gonna be available just by being a part of the team. So again, the link is down below if you guys want to join the team. I really hope that I earned your thumbs up. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, I don't think it has it there right now, but one of the things that I'll do is I'll put my phone number down there, and with that, you guys will be able to send me a text if you guys have any questions, and then we can kind of go from there. So I really do appreciate you guys' time. Really hope that it earned your thumbs up. Continue working hard. Continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. I wish you guys an amazing remainder of your day. make someone smile today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to direct message me. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.